歡迎大家收聽華語電台 CCR 文化潮流菲律賓，又係我 Janet 咧同大家咧傾下偈，講下呢個菲律賓嘅時候啦。每一集我當然就有好犀利嘅嘉賓同我一齊傾偈啦，當然大家都有 talk 得啦，又好玩啦，又好笑嘅。今日呢，我請嚟嘅呢位朋友呢，佢係一位靚女嚟嘅，真係我見到佢就哇咁靚嘅，佢係一位嘅地產經紀啦。咁我哋今日呢，我哋將會講好多唔同嘅話題嘅，包括啲旅遊熱點嘅。當然我首先要介紹下我嘉賓先啦，佢嘅名字就叫做 Rose T。 Good evening everyone, thank you for listening to my show. This is the cultural trends of the Philippines. As usual, I have a guest for each segment. And today my guest, it's a pretty lady. I was shocked when I met her. She is from the Hamilton. She actually drove a pretty long time to our studio to join us this evening. Her name is Rose T. Thank you so much for coming, Rose.
Thank you, Janet, for having me, actually. Thank you.
Thank you. I know it's a long drive.
It was actually a little bit longer than I expected.
Thank you for coming today. Like, nice day.
It is actually a very nice day.
Yeah.
Very nice day. For the last 2 days, it's been really warm, really hot. But today was perfect.
I agree. I actually like it hot, but then when it's too hot, But thanks again. I really appreciate it. Oh, from Hamilton, 2 hours of drive.
Actually, the GPS told me it will take me about an hour.
The GPS lied.
The GPS lied. Then it asked me to U-turn and said you have reached your destination.
Oh, I hate that lie.
And there's nothing there except grass.
It's a good environment at least.
It is actually. Richmond Hill, I noticed there's a lot of still nature, and it's very, very quiet.
Oh, that's correct. But I'm sure Hamilton is actually like even better green environment.
In certain areas, yeah. But Richmond Hill, you have more fresh air.
同大家講下點解我哋講得咁開心呢？因為阿 Rose 佢由 Hamilton 過嚟嘅。佢今日揸咗2個鐘頭車過嚟，仲要俾個 GPS 咧呃咗佢，佢話係1個鐘頭到，然後嚟到之後咧，點知個 GPS 又呃佢話你已經到咗啦，但係佢淨係望到一片嘅草原啦，咁所以今朝即今日咧就係有少少笑話出現咗，咁但係嚟到就大家淨係傾呢樣都傾到好開心啦，咁我已經預計到我呢個 guest 咧同我咧應該會係傾得非常之高興噶啦。Rose, can you introduce yourself to the audience first?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Rose T. As Janet introduced me, I am from Hamilton. I am a local real estate agent in Hamilton. I also do Greater Toronto area, but most of my business will be in Hamilton. Now, I've been a real estate agent for the last, I would say, 9, almost close to 10 years. Some of you would probably know some of the events that I've been involved. The most recent one that I did was a Singling Canada concert with Ray Valera. It was with the Adlib production, Mon and Tess Toralba. It was just a few months ago that we did the event.
同大家介紹一下 Rose 啊，阿 Rose 咧頭先講過啦，係 Hamilton 嚟㗎啦，佢係一位地產從業員啦，一位地產經紀啦。佢就話佢主要就係做 Hamilton 嘅，不過 GTA 佢都會做嘅。佢已經做咗呢一個地產經紀10年嘅差唔多。佢都話其實大家都可能會聽過佢嘅名字，因為佢除咗係地產經紀咧，佢都有 sponsor 一啲唔同嘅活動嘅。喺呢個菲律賓嘅 community 咧，亦都係非常之活躍嘅。咁佢最近咧就做咗一個嘅活動咧，就叫做 Singling Concert。What's Singling?Sing
means obviously it's for singing. The galing means good.
Galing mean good.
Yeah.
So I can
good.
actually say someone if I think she's good, I can actually say you are galing.
Yeah, galing like you're good. You're galing.
Oh, you are galing.
That's what it means. Yes.
Galing. Okay. 原來 Singling 咧點解咧？星大家知道啦，係唱歌啦。galing 咧就係 good 咁解。咁估到啦，大家係咪 Singling 咁即係一個唱歌嘅比賽啦。So it's like a singing contest.
Yeah, it's a singing contest where we target, talent Filipino with talent in singing particularly, and We had a lot of auditioners that came in from different cities. We had a lot of in Toronto actually, but the finals was held in Hamilton. And what we did was we sponsor a popular artist back home, which is in the Philippines, to concert off with this finalist.
Oh, so the sponsor is actually from the Philippines.
So yeah, I sponsor a major singer in the Philippines to come here and to do a concert with the grand finals.
Nice. 原來咧呢一個嘅活動咧，呢個唱歌比賽啦，Rose 咧就係特登去呢一個嘅馬尼拉度咧 sponsor 咗一個歌手啊。呢位歌手咧，佢就會嚟到咧同佢呢一個嘅比賽最終即係贏咗嗰個 section 啦，去嗰度咧同最贏咗得獎者嗰位唱歌嘅。咁啊非常之有呢一個 gimmick， 我覺得呢一個嘅 idea。I think this is a actually good like gimmick that you invite someone from the Philippines.
Yeah, because we were aiming for 2 events at least in one concert. First, when they buy the tickets, they get to see their let's say their daughter or their son or their nieces, their nephew. If they were part of the finalists, at the same time they're able to see a concert with that singer that came all the way to the Philippines. So that was our goal. That's why we did the Single in Canada concert.
佢原來點解會有呢一個嘅 idea 呢？因為佢覺得每一個參賽嘅人啦，即係佢嚟到參加比賽，咁睇佢嘅觀眾，咁支持佢嘅 fans 呢，就要買飛嘅。咁佢就覺得大家入到嚟買咗飛去欣賞佢個仔仔或者女女啊去唱歌啦。但係都可以有一個好似嚟到睇一個 concert 咁啊，所以佢就諗到呢個 idea， 不如請一個喺菲律賓嘅歌手嚟到呢度表演，當然係同埋啲最後嘅參加決賽嘅朋友一齊可以有一個表演啦，咁就又可以欣賞表演，可以支持佢哋自己嘅參賽者，咁佢就所以咧佢覺得有呢個 idea 咧去到辦呢一個嘅活動啦。I would be very happy, honestly. Yeah, if I I have to support my friends or my family, but then I also get to see a show.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what happened. It was, I think, overall maybe 500.
500.
Yeah, 500 people came in just to support and see the show and plus the concert, and it was really fun. I mean, like I think as I mentioned to you earlier, I felt that Hamilton is always, that's what I feel like, it's always the last city to have a major event. And that's why when I was talking to the Adlib production, I said, we can do all the auditions even in Toronto, but I would want to make these grand finals in Hamilton and let Toronto drive to Hamilton to see the concert.
Good. Rose 佢就話呢一個嘅活動啦，呢個嘅比賽啦，其實有500個人咧去到參加嘅，即係有500個人去到觀賽應該話。咁佢就當其時辦呢一個活動嘅時候，佢就同其他嘅負責人講，可以我哋唔同嘅 city 都可以有參賽者嚟，而我都唔介意喺唔同嘅地方咧去辦，譬如初賽啊或者一啲甄選嘅活動，但係決賽一定要 Hamilton 搞，因為佢成日都覺得咧 Hamilton 咧好似成日都係俾人遺忘咗嘅一個嘅city， 佢覺得好似好多嘢都唔記得咗佢咁，所以我唔理，總之咧決賽就一定要啲人咧由多倫多咧揸翻車嚟 Hamilton 睇呢個決賽，真係非常之喜歡自己嘅 city 啊 ！You love your city a lot, but I agree. Hamilton is a nice city.
It's growing slowly.
Yeah, well, definitely, it's a nice city, and I believe there are more and more Filipinos.
There is actually there like when we all came here in 1995. I could even count how many Filipinos in Hamilton. Now I'm glad to say we have a lot of Filipinos.
原來Rose 咧，佢1995年已經嚟到加拿大啦。佢1995年嘅時候咧，移民到加拿大已經係住喺 Hamilton 㗎啦。佢就話當其時咧，佢即係數都數得出當時有幾多個菲律賓人。但係而家Hamilton 咧已經越嚟越多菲律賓人啦。佢都話開始嗰個社區啊，其實都逐漸喺呢一個嘅 Hamilton 去到擴大啦。所以佢都好想咧可以 promote 到自己嘅城市。What makes you want to start this singling competition?
It's funny. This question always comes up a lot. The reason I did it wasn't for, people think we sell tickets. There's money there. It's actually I did it for my clients. For the last years that I've been, serving as, their agents, I felt that I want to say thank you, and this is by bringing some sort of a concert. And some of them, when they buy a house, I don't see them for so many years. And what I did is, most of the clients that I've been, been in business with, I give them free tickets. So that event, that's the night I actually keep up with them and was able to say, hey, how you been? And to say thank you for the business, for so many years. And that's the reason I did that contest. And of course, part of my advertising. I did not make a penny on that concert. I wanted to give back to my community and to my clients, and that was my major goal.
問到阿 Rose 點解會有呢一個 idea 去做呢一個 concert 呢？原來佢就話，當佢被問到呢個問題呢，其實被問過好多次㗎啦。其實佢真係唔係為咗錢嘅，佢係其實想做呢件事係為咗佢啲客戶。佢話佢好想咧同佢啲客戶咧，好似一個 say thank you 嘅一個方式啊，即係佢想多謝你即係俾我去到幫你去做咁多買賣，咁我好想同你講一句thank you。咁於是乎佢就諗咗，不如就籌辦一個 concert 啦。其實佢都話佢基本上好多時咧都係將啲飛免費送俾佢自己嘅客戶嘅。佢亦都強調佢係冇喺呢一個嘅活動度咧賺取，即係攞取過任何嘅錢嘅。對佢嚟講，當然係其中一個宣傳嘅活動啦。但係佢賺到嘅任何錢咧，佢都係俾翻佢自己嘅社區嘅，咁就回饋翻俾有需要嘅人嘅。Yeah, that's very meaningful. I mean, when you give it back to the community.
Yeah, my parents always tells me that not to wait. If you try to help your community or even someone, don't expect to receive back. But for me, for the last so many years, I've been so blessed with just the business, and this is the first time I've done it. And I said to my team, let me sponsor a great event and a concert, and I will take care of all the cost. And we were so lucky, we had a lot of sponsors. Actually, we had mortgage brokers help us with the cost. We had a Sheraton hotel actually help us with the stay of this artist. So it was also covered by volunteers and sponsors, and that's how we made that event very successful this year.
That's what I like about Filipino culture as well. You guys always want to help, and you guys will always be the giver.
Yeah,
I really like this. I really like this culture.
Yeah, because it is in our culture.
Rose 佢就話其實佢有呢一個有呢個舉動咧，其實都係佢自己嘅文化嘅一部分嚟嘅。我個人覺得啦，因為我都接咗佢哋好多嚟自菲律賓嘅朋友，佢哋真係非常之願意回饋社會，非常之願意做一個嘅giver 咯，我哋叫做。佢都話佢啲朋友同佢講，你俾咗啲乜嘢就唔會 expect 去收翻啲乜嘢翻嚟，即係你唔會話好多時付出咗唔係一定要諗翻有啲咩回報嘅。佢當其時都係同呢一個即係搞活動嘅人講，你俾我 sponsor 一個 concert 啦，你俾我負責所有費用得㗎啦，即係我好想去到做呢件事。佢就話其實到當其時都好多 sponsor， 其他 sponsor 咧，譬如一啲 mortgage broker 啊，亦都好多唔同嘅 volunteer， 即係好多嘅義工咧去到幫佢哋手嘅。咁呢一個亦都係佢哋菲律賓好大嘅文化嚟嘅，大家會好喜歡互相幫忙嘅。 That's a great event. Are you going to expand this? I know this concert, this competition, is just over, as you said, like a few months ago, actually, basically a month ago. But are you going to host this kind of concert or competition in the near future?
We just did the very first one, and the concert was on June 30th, and we just announced the Singaling Canada concert for, winner for 2015, June 30th, which is this year. And yes, I'm waiting for the Adlib Productions to, propose another province. Hopefully we could target Vancouver, Edmonton, or Calgary, where there's a lot of talents. That's why we've actually named the contest as Singaling Canada, because we would like to target different provinces and look for these talented singers.
我問到阿 Rose 會唔會有即係今年搞咗呢一個嘅比賽啦，搞咗呢個 concert 啦，會唔會諗住下年繼續搞呢？佢就話佢都想嘅，佢等緊呢一個嘅籌辦活動嘅一間公司，去等緊佢會唔會有第二個呢？佢希望可以衝出去呢一個安省啊！佢想譬如下次去譬如 Vancouver 啊，或者可能再遲啲喺加拿大其他嘅地方可以搞呢個 concert， 所以佢先至命名呢一個 concert 叫做 Singaling Canada， 就並唔係話叫做Singaling Toronto 或者 Ontario， 即係並唔係咁，佢係想咧去呢一個衝出去呢一個嘅安省。That's going to be a big event.
Yeah, and the good thing about the event as well, we had different. We had a different category. We had young and we had an adult version, right? And we chose one adult and one younger winner, and the goal here is to keep going, and these winners actually they came and fought, and at the end there's cash prizes that they have won, and they'll be performing in most of the events here in Toronto, like if there's a pageant. I know one of the winner will be at the, I believe, Taste of Manila, because Filipino in Toronto, they have so many events and festivals, so they'll be performing as well. So it will be an opportunity for them if singing is one of their passion. And I think starting from a concert or a small event would give them the opportunity to grow more and learn more in terms of performing in a big crowd.
問到Rose 咧，我話呢個係一個即將會有一個大型嘅節目啦，一個活動啦。佢都話其實佢呢一個活動有個好處，因為其實佢唔係淨係咧得年青嘅，佢有後生嘅同埋成人嘅，即係有 young 同 adult 啊。佢就話有兩個 version， 就算佢揀呢一個勝出者啊，佢都係有揀一個年輕嘅同埋一個係 adult 吧，即係一個成年人嘅。咁佢當然咧，大家係有現金嘅獎項嘅，咁但係其實佢覺得每一個人參加呢一個活動，其實唔係話淨係為咗一個獎金獎品，佢哋係想可以學得多啲嘢啦，同埋可能expose 自己多啲啦，同埋可以擴闊自己嘅視野啦。咁我都覺得係嘅，即係你若果可以參加多啲嘅比賽或者活動，咁當然你自己嘅視野係一定會擴闊到，亦都可以學到更加多嘅嘢嘅。Rose, I know that you are coming today not just to tell us about the concert, which I appreciate a lot, of course, the concert. I know that other than the concert, you are going to talk more about the Philippines and to share some good places.
Oh, yes.
With us. First of all, where are you from? From the Philippines? Which part?
I was born in Bicol.
Bicol
is a province. I would say Ontario. So I was born in Bicol, but I grew up in the city, which is in Makati.
Makati.
Yeah.
咁我問到Rose 咧喺嚟到呢一個我哋呢一個嘅 studio 啦， 咁其實佢就真係唔係淨係為咗講一個嘅 concert 同埋呢一個嘅比賽嘅。當然呢一個 concert 同比賽咧，真係好有趣、好豐富嘅一個 topic。但係佢嚟到咧，其實仲有一樣嘢想同我哋講下嘅，就係佢想講講菲律賓有啲嘅地方咧，同大家分享下嘅。咁首先咧，Rose 喺邊度嚟嘅咧？Rose 喺呢一個地方叫 Bicol 呢個地方咧度出生嘅，但係佢咧就喺一個叫做 Makati 嘅地方長大嘅。Where is Makati?
It is in Luzon.
Luzon.
It's one of the, one of the most popular city. It's also one of the tourist spot of the Philippines where mostly shoppings are, and buildings are. Just like Toronto, you have, Yonge Street. So Makati is just like Toronto City.
Rose 佢就話原來 Makati 呢個地方咧就喺呂宋島嗰度嘅。佢係一個非常之modern 嘅一個地方嚟嘅啦。其實佢話亦都係一個好旅遊嘅熱點啦。點解我會話佢係一個 modern 嘅地方呢？因為佢話 Makati 呢個地方好多 shopping mall 啊，同埋一啲好多嘅高樓大廈。其實佢話同多倫多好似嘅喎。Is it is Makati? Since you said it's full of shopping malls, like nice building, is it like the cost of living is it higher than other places?
Yeah, it's a little bit. There's also like small region that consists of it. For example, Toronto, the condominiums in downtown Toronto is more, expensive versus if you go, let's say, North York. So it's more a little bit affordable. Makati is basically, it's also residents of maybe 1 million. The population, like Philippines is really, it's a big population.
It is.
It's just like I think China as well.
Right? Can I say this is like a metro?
It is a Metro Manila. Yeah, it's part of Metro Manila.
I see. 原來佢呢個地方咧就係馬尼拉嘅市中心嘅，其實 Metro Manila 佢好接近，好似多倫多。咁佢就話咧呢一個嘅 Makati 咧。嗰個嘅生活水平其實都高啲嘅，佢都話大約你可能會等於喺多倫多，譬如你話喺 downtown 嘅 North York 啊呢啲嘅地方嘅樓啊嘅 condo 可能會貴啲。咁 Makati 其實就係喺菲律賓嗰個地方咧，佢係屬於貴少少嘅一個 region 咯。What's famous in Makati except for like the shopping malls?
I think shopping is famous for Filipinos, right?
Like in general, basically.
In general, right? Like our malls are. When I went back home, the malls here, like for example, Yorkdale Mall, Philippine malls are just like way bigger than Yorkdale Mall. Yorkdale, I would say, is maybe a quarter of our mall.
Wow!
Like in the Philippines, our malls consist of restaurants inside, and half of it would be, of course, retail stores. And when people says Edmonton is the biggest mall, and I've been to Edmonton, I think, and I can't compare what we have back home. And every time I go back home, it's one of my favorite place to visit is the malls. Like every corner there's malls, but I think that's why I think when you ask me what is the best thing to do in the Philippines is people love to eat. That's why half of our malls are 50% is the restaurants.
50%可唔可以同大家反映下啦？咁我問Rose 喺 Makati 其實最出名係咩呢？佢就話就係 mall 咯，一定係嘅啦，真係佢話其實喺菲律賓度啊 ，in general 喺菲律賓咧根本 shopping 都係一件非常之受歡迎同埋非常之 common 嘅一件事。咁所以佢話喺菲律賓嘅 mall 咧其實好大型嘅。佢話如果呢度嘅 Yorkdale 話好大咧，菲律賓嘅 mall 咧比 Yorkdale 咧大好多好多。佢話 Yorkdale 可能只不過係一個1/4咁大嘅啫。佢話同埋菲律賓入邊咧個 mall 咧，佢話好多好多嘅餐廳喺入邊嘅。當然有好多 retail， 但係好多好多嘅餐廳咧都喺 mall 入邊。咁佢話菲律賓人最中意就係咩 shopping 同埋食嘢咯。咁我哋不如而家休息一陣先，翻到嚟咧我哋再同Rose 講多啲關於呢一個嘅Makati 同埋可能佢出生同埋成長嘅地方。You know what? I would want to know more about Makati, but especially shopping. But let's take a break first. After that, we will talk more.
Sure.
翻嚟華語電台 CCR 文化潮流菲律賓，仍然有我同埋 Rose 咧喺度咧，同大家繼續講咧菲律賓嘅一個特別嘅地方。呢個地方我哋未講過嘅，呢個地方叫 Makati。So back to the cultural trends of the Philippines. It's Janet here again, and Rose is still here. We were talking about a place in the Philippines. It's called Makati. That's where Rose grew up. We want to know more because Rose just talked about something that almost every woman will love about this place. Makati, what's it good for? Shopping. So shopping mall, and you said it's much, much bigger than any mall in Toronto.
Yes.
And you said like 50% of the mall, they have a lot of restaurants. Of course, retail. But of course, you have to have some boutiques and retails for people to shop. The restaurants is one of the key.
Yeah, basically, our malls consist of retails and restaurants. For example, Kelsey's, it will be inside that mall. So imagine how big Kelsey's is, or Turtle Jack's, or the Keg. Imagine this inside a mall, and maybe about 50 of them. And on top of that, you got those retail stores now. So our malls is one of, I find that, Asia malls, specifically, Philippines, I do believe we have the best malls.
Well, I'm from Hong Kong. Hong Kong does have a lot of like shopping malls too, but because like Hong Kong is much much smaller, so the size wise it's not like that big. But then it's a variety. It's basically you can actually shop to the next day if they open that lot. Rose 佢話其實好多菲律賓嘅 mall 咧入邊都係有餐廳嘅，因為大家都好中意食嘢啦。佢話其實諗下啦，點解佢話好大咧？其實每一個 mall 入邊當然係有 retail， 但係亦都有呢一個嘅餐廳。你諗下，佢話你想像一下，可能一間 Cake 一間 Kelsey 喺入邊，但係有50間咁大嘅餐廳喺呢個 mall 入邊，咁你可以想像到咧，究竟菲律賓嘅 mall 有幾大啦。Other than shopping in Makati, anything that you miss the most?
In Makati, there's no beaches, there's no sightseeing, but there's traffic.
But you don't miss that.
Makati is like New York City.
Oh,
it's really busy. That's where also our all of our professional buildings are. Like for example, like Toronto, you have the financial district, all the banks, major banks. So it's a mix of tourists and of course the professional buildings where people work, and that's why it's one of the busiest place in the Philippines. The traffic, you'll be stuck there for hours. You could just even get off your cab and start walking, and I bet you'll get there first than your car. Yeah, it's overpopulated, but it's fun. It's again, it's one of the busiest places in the Philippines.
So you probably miss the crowds.
Yeah, so if you miss the crowds, Makati is the place the place to visit. But if you want a little bit of a scenery, so you're gonna go a bit far from that city, so you can go visit the beaches and different historic places.
我問阿 Rose 喺呢一個 Makati 有啲乜嘢除咗 shopping 之外，有啲乜嘢係佢好 miss 嘅呢？佢話其實呢一個 Makati 呢係一個非常之忙嘅城市嚟嘅，佢好似 New York 咁嘅。佢話啲交通呢非常之差，成日都塞車嘅，但係佢就係懷念呢一種嘅多人啊，呢一種好多人嘅感覺。咁當然啦，因為佢話其實 Makati 係冇呢個沙灘啊，冇呢啲嘢嘅。如果你係 looking for 一個好舒服、好安靜嘅地方俾你 relax， 你唔應該係 Makati。但係如果你係好中意好熱鬧啊，好中意好多人嘅話呢， Makati 就係你應該要去嘅地方啦。佢就話呢，可以交通忙碌到個地步，就係如果你塞緊車，你可能落車買埋杯嘢飲，行翻上車，你都仲係可以上翻車喺原位嘅。咁非常真係好似 New York 啦。首先，咁若果中意呢一種熱鬧呢，真係可以考慮下呢個地方嘅。 When you said about the traffic, it's so bad, but when most of the people in Makati, do they have to drive, or if the public transportation, if the commute system, is it good enough that you don't need to drive?
I don't think even if the commute is there's enough transportation, for example buses, it's just that I think the roads are a bit smaller and there's more cars, and that's why there's a lot of traffic jam. I don't think what do you call when you have people riding, carpooling is still in effect. That's why in the Philippines they start having the coding. What it is if you have for example, your plate number ending from 123, you can't drive on a Monday. So that limits the people that are gonna be on the road, and that gives more flow. But it's still not helping with the traffic, because of that population. But it is one of the, I wouldn't say worst, but it is one of the experience that I've experienced when I was there. The traffic was unbelievable. Like getting from A to B would take me maybe during rush hours. It could be as an hour or so.
Wow.
Yeah.
我問阿 Rose 咧，其實如果話呢個 traffic 咁差嘅話咧，係因為好多人要揸車啊，定係因為呢一個嘅政府嘅呢一個嘅交通工具啊，即係做得唔夠好，定係點？佢話其實已經好多巴士啊，好多嘅交通工具嘅啦，只不過可能喺菲律賓呢啲路係細好多、窄好多，咁就多咗車，咁於是乎唔同即呢一個環境嘅情況之下呢，可能真係由 A 點去到 B 點就要你1個鐘頭咁耐啦。咁佢就話，所以而家呢開始，即佢哋有唔同嘅措施嘅，其中一個措施呢，佢話叫做 coding 係點樣呢？譬如你個車牌呢，最尾個 number 係1、2、3咁啦，你就可能會有一啲日子呢，你就唔可以揸車嘅，或者啲時段你唔可以揸車嘅。咁呢個就係佢哋政府其中一個控制呢一個交通擠塞嘅一個方法啦。咁呢個真係第一次聽啊，不過又學多樣嘢啦。Good that I learned something new today about the coding. I've never heard about like this kind of like traffic control.
It just reduces the traffic.
Do you also drive in the Philippines?
Oh no.
Oh, not
I think if I do, I don't think I'll survive. People like here in Canada, there's more accidents. I believe I see that in the highway because we got more lanes to enjoy and it's more open. In the Philippines, I think accidents are less because people know that there's a lot of traffic and they're more cautious. I mean, there's no lanes in the Philippines. There's no lanes for us to follow. So you could be turning left or right. You could be anywhere. You could be like zigzagging. And most of the drivers they drive standard cars.
我問下 Rose 去到菲律賓會唔會揸車？佢話唔會，佢係唔可以生存到嘅。佢話，因為原來菲律賓係冇 link 嘅，即係你可以行左又得，行右又得。佢講笑咁話，你即係以失字行咁都得嘅。咁佢話佢唔可以喺菲律賓度揸車，咁亦都可能菲律賓啲人自己揸車揸開有自己嘅一套啦。咁how often do you go back to the Philippines?
At least once a year.
At least once a year.
Yeah.
And every time you go back to the Makati?
Yeah, because that's where my family lives, and that's where our place is in Makati. And from there, I just travel different beaches. Like I go to different places. I went to this place called Boracay.
Oh, we talked about that. I still remember that. It's like the first tourism spot that we cover in this program. And I search Boracay. The picture it's like, oh wow.
Yeah, it's one of the famous beaches, I think, and I think it was rated as one of the top 10 for tourists to visit. It's white sand beach, a lot of tourists, and it's very peaceful, and I love the water.
How long will it take from Makati to Boracay?
About an hour to fly.
An hour to fly. 咁我問到Rose 佢幾耐到會翻一次菲律賓呢？佢話其實幾乎每年都會翻一次㗎啦，最少。咁佢翻到去呢，就一定係去翻 Makati 嘅，因為嗰個就係佢嘅成長嘅地方啦，佢都係有地方可以喺嗰度住啦。咁佢去到 Makati 呢，但係佢就會去唔同嘅地方去再 travel 嘅。咁好似我哋，譬如我翻香港咁，我都會揾啲地方去再 travel 一下啦，因為近呢個東南亞啊嘛。咁佢就話去翻呢個菲律賓入邊 travel。咁例如佢會去邊呢？佢會揀翻啲沙灘嘅地方啦。因為 Makati 係冇沙灘啊嘛，咁佢喺 Makati 咧，佢又試過去Boracay 啦。咁 Boracay 咧，其實呢個長灘島咧，我哋第一集都已經講過噶啦，一個好靚嘅沙灘。佢話大概咧要飛1個鐘頭啦，即係由 Makati 飛1個鐘頭就會去到 Boracay 啦。佢話一個好靚好靚嘅沙灘。原來呢個沙灘咧係10大最靚嘅沙灘之一嚟㗎啦，全世界10大最靚嘅沙灘之一。咁佢本身 Makati 冇沙灘，所以佢就飛去呢一個嘅 Boracay 咧，享受下呢個陽光與海灘啦。Besides Boracay, what other beaches or what other places that is close to Makati that you have traveled to?
Beaches, I think, if Cebu, but I do believe that's a little bit farther than Boracay. I think it's 3 or 5 hours, I think, from Makati. Because Makati consists of mostly residential. You know, it's nothing like there's a near beach. Maybe there's a really near lake, like the Manila Bay, that you could look at, just like the lakeshore of Toronto. But if you want to go see white sand beaches, you have to fly and go to this different province.
And you love beaches?
I love it.
我問到 Rose 佢喺呢一個嘅菲律賓度，咁除咗 Boracay 啦，仲點樣去第二啲，即係有冇去第二啲地方度，第二啲嘅沙灘度咧？因為佢好中意沙灘嘅。佢話其實咧，除咗 Boracay 其實 Cebu 咧都得嘅，但係 Cebu 就要剔耐少時間，要3至5個鐘頭。其實又唔係話 Makati 佢係冇沙灘，但係佢有啲好細型咯，即係唔會話啲好似 Boracay 咁靚嘅沙灘。佢話佢有一個叫做Manila Bay 咁係啲海灣啦，好近海灣嘅地方。咁嗰度有啲好細型嘅沙灘。咁但係如果你話好中意沙灘，你係好享受陽光與海灘嘅，咁你要由 Makati 飛去第二度。咁當然啦，長灘島係一個最popular 嘅其中一個地方啦。Makati that you have covered, the place that you were born, are you familiar with that?
Bicol, yeah, because I believe I was 10, under 10 when my family moved to the city, which is the Makati. As far as I can remember, which is I did visit Bicol when I went back home just in January, and it changed a bit, but the most popular in Bicol is the Mayon volcano.
The volcano?
Yeah, and it's been there maybe since 16th century. And I know it did erupt last year. And I could remember when I was young, me and my sisters would, because our house is, where I live is called Albay, and it's near the volcano. I could just walk actually and go up to the volcano maybe in a few minutes from my house.
Wow.
And at that time, that volcano was not even active. So at night, we could see its crater, like red on top. And we would just all sit there and look and watch about. I even have a picture of the volcano when I was like really young. I think 3. Behind me was the volcano. I wish I had a selfie.
Back then,
there
was no selfie.
There was no selfie back then. But but it's one of those nice. It's actually a tourist spot. The volcano is one of the tourism that Filipino comments and even different culture. There was this particular place. It's called, my parents told me, Cagsawa Ruins.
Cagsawa Ruins?
Yeah. I believe when the volcano erupted long time ago, there was a restaurant or a church that was buried.
Oh.
And the only thing that left of that particular building was I think it's pointy. It would just show you the end of the tip of that building, and it was still there when I went to see the Cagsa ruins. It was the only thing left, and it was unfortunate. They said, a lot of people died and was buried underneath that ruins. So it is one of the famous tourist spot as well in the province of Bicol.
OK。我問咗呢一個 Makati 啦，咁呢個地方係Rose 成長嘅地方啦。咁問一問Rose 出生嘅地方叫做 Bicol。咁呢個 Bicol 咧，問佢有冇記憶啦？佢話有，當然有，因為原來咧 Bicol 呢個地方最出名係咩咧？係火山喎。佢話佢當其時咧喺 Bicol 住嘅時候咧，佢話大概都係10歲到啦。10歲嘅時候咧，嗰個地方佢個火山，佢住喺好出名嘅火山隔離嘅啫，叫做 Mayon Volcano。佢喺嗰一個 volcano 隔離住嘅啫，佢話行一陣就到㗎啦。呢個火山咧60世紀嘅時候已經喺度㗎啦，好歷史好耐。咁佢話咧，佢冇記錯嘅話咧，以前係唔活躍嘅火山嚟嘅，但係冇記錯咧，上年咧就爆發咗嘅呢個火山。咁佢喺細個喺呢一個 Bicol 度住嘅時候咧，喺火山隔離咁，佢話佢可以同佢妹妹咧行好快幾分鐘咁就到個火山。佢曾經喺個火山前面咧，其實影過張相嘅。咁佢話哇，當其時個火山係上邊仲係紅色啊。咁佢有陣時會同佢妹妹咁樣行到嗰度，咁慢慢去即係靜靜咁欣賞呢一個嘅火山。其實呢個火山都係菲律賓嘅一個好熱點旅遊熱點啊。咁佢就話除咗呢一個火山之外啦，by the way， 我哋其實講咗個笑話嘅。其實佢話，佢真係最衰嗰陣時咧，冇呢一個 selfie 啊，即係唔興 selfie， 所以佢當其時咧唔可以拍到自拍照。但係佢就真係好印象深刻嘅對呢個火山。咁佢話另外一個火山當然係呢個菲律賓嘅其中一個熱點啦。另外一個喺嗰度嘅都係一個旅遊區嘅個熱點嚟嘅，就係原來佢有一個地方叫做Casa Ruin， 係曾經因為發生過火山爆發，咁就當其時係有一個嘅 church 嘅，但係呢個 church 咧因為火山爆發而即係摧毀咗啦。咁但係咧個 church 咧全部都摧毀咗，淨係咧佢個 church 最尖嗰一點，佢嗰個頂嗰度咧係冇被摧毀嘅。咁嗰個頂仲係留喺呢一個嘅地面上面嘅。咁呢一個亦都係咧喺呢一個 Bicol 咧一個好多人會特登去睇嘅一個旅遊嘅地方。Bicol versus Makati. Since you said Makati, it's more city. It's like a city area. But Bicol, is it like the opposite?
Yes.
Okay, like more laid back.
Yes, exactly. More laid back. There's no traffic.
No traffic.
Yeah.
No,
so
people's not driving there. You can still drive there.
Yeah, definitely. And it's more quieter. And if you're looking for some sort of a historic and scenery, then Bicol would be the place versus the Makati.
我就話啦，Makati 咧佢就係話一個好商業化同埋好城市嘅地方。咁 Bicol 係點咧？佢 Bicol 就 relax 好多啦，悠閒好多啦，係一個好 laid back 嘅一個城市嚟嘅。若果你係好想要呢一種 style 咧，你就應該去 Bicol 嗰度享受下嗰種嘅寧靜，同埋佢話風景又靚啦，同埋好多咧歷史嘅遺物咧喺嗰度，大家可以欣賞一下嘅。Which place you like it more? So you grew up in Makati and you were around in Bicol.
Well, I would probably say Makati. Because there's more things for me to enjoy. There's the shopping, and the food will also be in Bicol, but there's more things to do in the city than if you consider it in a small province, right? So I would probably prefer the Makati.
No matter what, shopping is number one hobby
That's
for women.
Right, Janet. Yeah, that's right.
Is it when you said the malls in Makati, are they all high-end?
Yes.
Retail? Okay.
Yes, it's just like walking on Beverly Hills as well in Makati.
No, like flea markets, like
There is, but it's within the Makati as well. But the district of Makati, you will find the branded shopping malls, and there's small little stores that street malls as well. But Makati is mostly when there's expensive retail stores.
Yeah, because I like shopping, but then I actually like those small boutiques.
Yes.
And or even flea market. Flea market usually I just love that atmosphere. I just enjoy like walking from booth to booth.
Yeah, like more like an outlet.
我問阿 Rose 咁，佢其實中意邊度多啲呢？即係 Makati 同埋 Bicol。咁當然係如大家所料啦，女人梗係中意 shopping 噶啦。咁佢就揀咗 Makati 嘅。佢話因為 Makati 係多啲嘢做啊，可以有唔同嘅娛樂啊，俾你得到。佢話嘢食其實兩邊都會有，都係菲律賓嘢食，但係 Makati 你就可以有多啲嘅多啲嘢做到啦，佢話多啲選擇啦。咁我講笑咁講冇辦法啦，因為女人真係好中意 shopping。咁佢話係冇錯。咁我都想問多啲關於 shopping mall 啦，會唔會淨係得high end 嘅 shopping 啦？全部都係牌子啊？佢話喺 Makati 入邊，如果係 shopping mall 嘅話咧，就大部分你好似喺比華利山度 shopping 緊嘛。佢話全部都係比較high end 高檔少少嘅牌子嘅。不過唔代表佢冇其他 flea market 或者冇呢一啲細嘅 boutique 嘅，有嘅。佢話只不過集中喺呢一個central 啲嘅地方咧，就大部分都係比較高檔少少嘅牌子，但係佢亦都會有佢嘅 flea market，亦都會有其他細少少嘅 plaza 或者細少少嘅 boutique 嘅。咁我自己本人咧，其實我都中意 shopping， 大部分兩都中意 shopping 啦。只不過我自己本人其實係中意睇啲細少少嘅 boutique， 甚至乎 flea market 咧，我都非常之 enjoy 咧行 flea market 嗰種嘅感受嘅。咁我哋今日真係非常之多謝阿 Rose 特登上到嚟同我哋分享咗咧佢自己成長嘅地方，同埋一啲介紹咗佢出生嘅地方。咁我哋第一次咧有嘉賓 cover 呢個火山啊。Rose, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you so much to share with us your the place that you grew up and the place that you were born in. This is actually the first section that we covered volcano. Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Janet, for having me. Thank you.
咁我哋而家休息一陣先，廣告翻嚟咧有第二個環節送俾大家嘅。好，翻嚟華語電台 CCR 文化潮流之菲律賓。大家，我唔記得你記唔記得上個禮拜呢，我請咗一位非常之風趣嘅女士，佢嘅名字叫做 Ruby Talavera。佢呢上個禮拜同我哋傾咗一啲中國人同埋菲律賓人一啲少少生活上面嘅一啲嘅文化一啲嘅趣事啦。例如我哋中國人呢，好怕個四字啊，又好中意 number 個八字啊，咁樣等等呢啲趣事啦。咁上次傾得真係唔夠喉，所以呢，我哋今日要繼續呢同 Ruby 繼續呢一個嘅 topic， 同埋繼續同你傾多啲偈，因為佢真係好好傾嘅。Good evening, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Canadian Chinese Radio. Last week, we have a lady. Her name is Ruby Talavera. She came here and she covered some interesting topics. We ran out of time, but then don't worry, we have her here again. She just made me laugh a lot, so I am so happy that she's here again. Ruby, hi.
Hi, Janet.
Thank you for coming again.
You're most welcome. My pleasure.
It was a great topic.
I wish I learned the Cantonese for good evening, because I only know Chosan and Neho Ma and Leng Loi and Niho Leng.
You know what? That's another difference, because we usually greet, for example, good morning, we will say Chosan.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, we will say On. But good evening, we usually don't say that. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, there is a word, but then it means the same as good evening, but that's when we say good night, actually. Yes.
Okay.
And of course, to the audience, how can we forget my lovely friend, Bon? He's here again.
Good evening to all. My name is Bong Faldas. I am with Culture Trend of the Philippines.
大家，我點可以忘記我嘅好朋友阿邦呢？咁啊，因為上個禮拜呢，同 Ruby 同阿邦呢三個都一齊喺度，即係阿邦就客串，其實阿邦呢，即係坐喺度都唔係太多嘢講到噶啦，因為有兩位女士喺度，但係佢今晚佢都會喺度嘅，咁所以呢，就佢今晚仍然繼續客串嘅。Bon, I was just telling the audience, actually, last week, you were here, but you didn't say much. But I do understand. Two ladies in the room.
I always agree. That's why I could not say anything.
But yes, it's always fun to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Yes, it's always fun to have you here. Yes, and just like Ruby just said, about good evening. good afternoon, and good morning. Yeah, Chinese, we actually don't have like good evening for, not really. Like when we say, hey, hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, I just can't think of, what's the best word for Chinese to say that? No. What about the Philippines?
Because the Filipino people are so respectful and hospitable. The only way to break the ice is to say something like good morning, good afternoon, or good evening.
Yes.
For us, we usually do 你好
Yes.
ma.
Yes.
Yes. We do say like in the morning,
早晨.
早晨, yes. Yeah, but you hardly hear someone say good afternoon in Chinese. Yeah, you can ask your friend too, because
Yeah.
I know that you have so many Chinese friends.
Yes.
Yes, just like when we pick up the phone, yeah, it's not, most of the time we say hello, like 你好,
Yeah.
你好嘛, yeah, something like that. But there is something interesting. Yeah, I can actually also tell my Filipino audience too. Usually, when us Chinese do the greeting, instead of 你好嘛, 早晨, we have a saying. To translate that in English is, have you had dim sum yet?
Oh, yeah.
That's how we actually started that too. Or when you wrap up a conversation where you just want to say goodbye,
Yeah.
we used to say, oh, next time, find a time that we will have dim sum together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's, to us, dim sum, it's so important.
Oh, for sure.
Usually,
Yes.
for like in the morning or lunchtime, dim sum, it's at least that's my dad's favorite.
Yes. That's also one of my favorites. Bong, yours too?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of,
Congee, siomai, siopao.
you don't have shobao in dim sum.
Oh, siopao, siomai.
Yeah.
Hagao.
Shobao, it's our birthday. It's our birthday bun.
Okay. We have siopao in Filipino.
Oh, you have shobao in
Siopao in Filipino, yeah. Siomai and hagao.
Siomao, yes, I have tried siomai.
Hagao.
What's subao in Filipino? Was
Sabaw means soup.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Soup.
Oh, that's
like
fun.
congee.
咁我同大家翻譯一下，咁啊，因為頭先講開咧，佢哋話即係唔識講點樣講早晨，佢識講 good afternoon 同埋 good evening 咧。Ruby 就唔識講廣東話嘅，即係廣東話個 version 啦。咁我就話其實我哋好少講嘅，即係午安都好少講噶啦。你話 good evening，我直情話我哋都唔見到人哋都唔會走去話 good evening，即係唔會同你講晚上好，即係好比較少嘅。我哋香港人真係比較少嘅，但係我哋通常都會講你好啊，你好嗎？但係最多講一句就係、點啊？飲乜茶未啊？食咗嘢未啊？又或者我哋通常咧點樣去 wrap up 我哋嘅 conversation 咧？即係我哋走嘅時候都會同大家講一句揾日飲茶啦咁。即係呢個係我哋嘅文化嘅一種啦。咁佢認識咗咁多香港嚟自香港或者嚟自中國嘅朋友咧，佢都未聽過呢一種嘅文化呢一種嘅溝通喎。咁啊變咗咧，好似今日咧，我又可以咧講翻多啲俾佢聽關於我哋中國人嘅文化。But yes, that's how we do. But then I know that no matter what, like how you start a conversation, how you wrap up a conversation, it's always like good evening and goodbye. You usually just say like goodbye and then a big hug.
Yes. Yeah.
And then a big hug.
Yeah.
Even for someone that you have just known for like the first time, you would do that too.
Yes.
Like you said, I do respect that you like to make your guests to be part of you, like part of your family, and I believe that's why you will hug your guests like basically even the first time that you met them.
Yes, we're very warm, very simple, very hospitable people. Do you want me to share with you some of the Filipino values that we have? I have. I can think of about 4 of them.
Sure.
The first one is what we call utang na loob, which is in English, it's a technique of reciprocity, of debt, of gratitude to others within the family circle. And it's sometimes unlimited in nature, and it's more of emotional rather than financial. And an example of that would be somebody referred you to an employer and you got the job. That person who referred you forever will be in your debt. Okay.
I got it.
Yes. And the second one is pakikisama, and this is closely related to utang na loob, which is the first one that I mentioned. It's the value of belongingness and loyalty to the small in-group with sensitivity to the feelings of others on the principle of give and take. So, for example, you have good public relations and you avoid conflict with the leader or the majority of the groups. So hiya, which is controlling to a large extent the behavior of the individual, is generally dependent on what others will think, say, and do. So because of hiya, a Filipino cannot say no, even if it's against his will to do what is being requested. For example, if I owe Bong the favor of me getting a job, for example, I will forever be in his debt, right? Now, if he asks me to do something, and
You
I
can
don't really want to
refuse.
do it, I can't turn him down because I'm ashamed. And it's called pakikisama. It's a Filipino value.
That's right.
Ruby 咧佢就話：我想同你分享一啲菲律賓人嘅價值觀啊。咁佢講第一樣嘢咧，同我哋好似佢就話就係呢個要飲水思源佢就話若果例如係咩咧，一啲情感上嘅債，或者一啲唔係話真係啲唔係話一啲真係financial 上面嘅債喎。佢講咗個 example 就係、譬如有一個朋友介紹咗一份工作俾佢。呢一個債咧就欠一世噶啦，成世人佢都會記住呢個恩情，咁佢就成世就欠咗呢個人呢個債噶啦。第二個佢就係講緊就係嗰隻同呢一個團一個 group 啊嗰種嘅協調同埋嗰種嘅好埋，我哋講俗少少可能埋堆係啦。咁佢就話但係嗰、個唔係話真係淨係純粹係好 social 嗰隻埋堆嘅，而係譬如佢就話，好似佢舉咗個 example 就係阿邦可能介紹咗一份工俾佢，介紹一份工俾佢咧，就係因為咁，佢永遠都唔會同佢 say no 嘅。咁可能一個 group 度，阿邦可能叫做啲嘢，佢唔想做嘅，但係佢唔會 say no 嘅，佢會照做，因為佢覺得如果佢唔做咧，就係一種好侮辱自己同埋侮辱阿邦嘅一種表現，所以佢就唔會咁做。Before you go on the third and fourth, I just want to tell you, we actually have the same thing. Yeah.
Same thing.
Like it's very similar.
Yeah.
Like I mean, the technique of like the debt that you said.
The debt, yes.
If someone helped you once, like you said, doesn't matter. It's a financial like or it's like an emotional thing. If someone just helped you once, you're supposed to remember that for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a lifetime thing. You will have to remember that. Of course, that is like very good. It's actually a good attitude. It's very good if you really have this kind of belief. I'm not saying that everyone will have this kind of belief, but then
Right.
yeah, most of that we do.
Yeah. Oh,
and
excellent.
we will feel so bad if we don't.
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, and the second one, yeah, it's very similar too. Like how the value of belongingness, but then also it also depends. It also depends. Of course, like what is the nature of things or the nature of the request. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But then if the example that you said, it's more about the first one. Like I mean, if Bond because he referred you like a job to you,
Yes.
and that's why you think I owe him for
Forever.
for everything.
Yes.
Basically, if he wants a hagao, you have to give it to him.
Yes, exactly.
No matter how expensive it is.
Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay, yeah. What about the third one? I
Well,
want to
the third-
see.
Yeah, the third one is actually an expression, and this is bahala na, which means it depends on the stars, or depends on the saints, or depends on the spirits who will do everything. They will take care of everything. I don't know. Bahala na tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Is basically what it is. God will provide. That is basically what it means, and that is, I think, common sense. It's okay. I'm working hard, but you know what? I'll just leave it up to Him tomorrow. It's up to Him.
That's actually how when you have any problems or any struggle, that will help a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. Similar. I don't think it's like in our generation, probably not that obvious right now. Probably our grandparents' generation, they are more like this. Yeah. And also that's also part of the reason that they got superstition is actually part of the reason.
Right.
That this is part of the cause.
Yes.
同大家講第三點呢，佢覺得個價值觀就係佢哋中意將所有嘢交俾神嘅，佢覺得所有 所有嘢都可以交俾神，譬如有啲嘢解決唔到，得㗎啦，神自有安排。呢個就係佢覺得第三大嘅一個價值觀啦。And the fourth one?
And the fourth one is actually a mixture of Spanish and Filipino, and it's amor propio, which amor means love, right?
Love of self.
Amor, I know.
Let's
Although
say,
I still can't remember how to say thank you in Tagalog. I do know amor.
amor, yeah. Well, you say thank you as actually it's very similar to the to Arabic or Iranian. It's shalom, which is salamat.
Salamat.
Salamat, right.
Salamat po or
yeah.
salamat ho.
Yeah.
But what if I want to tell the audience salama
Salamat po.
po? Then the pop. Okay, pop is when I respect someone.
Yes.
Pop.
So it's
Salama
amor
po.
propio. Yeah. and really what it is it's another Spanish influence. And it's you really want something but you just don't want to show your real feelings. So say for example, Bong says to me, Ruby, I love you, kind of thing, and I really love him, right? But I'm just pretending that I don't, kind of thing. So it's like amor propio or pakipot.
So that's more
something like that.
That's more for women then.
It's for both. I mean, it could be the same thing. Bong loves me, and you know he's not showing it. He's hiding his emotions, kind of thing.
Then eventually, how would you two both know?
Well, it's going to be the third value, which is
Siguro.
bahala na ako. Let's leave it up to the spirits. I'm just kidding, Bo. I don't know if you're married or in a relationship, or I'm just kidding, okay?
第四點好有趣啊 ！Ruby 佢話第四樣就係佢想講嘅係矜持同內斂啦。其實如果譯做中文就係佢話當佢哋菲律賓人好想要一樣嘢咧，但係佢唔 show 佢嘅真情感出嚟嘅。佢就舉咗一個好笑嘅 example， 佢就話若果佢好中意阿邦，但係佢唔會 show 俾阿邦聽，知道佢唔會俾阿邦知道佢係中意佢嘅。咁佢話我話咁呢個係咪即係我想，因為我要翻譯啊嘛，咁我就諗其實呢個係咪即係你想我翻譯做女性嘅矜持？咁係咪淨係 for 女人㗎？咁唔係啊，男人都係㗎。阿邦都一樣啊。如果阿邦好中意我，佢都唔會 show 俾我睇佢係幾中意我。咁我咁大家你又唔 show 俾睇，佢又唔 show 俾你睇，咁你哋幾時先可以一齊咧？佢就話咁咪就去翻第三點啦，就交咩都交翻俾神咯。咁阿神就會自有安排啦。Okay, that's how all. That's the reason for all your marriage. Because of number 3. If you don't show anything. So what about your children then? Like, I mean, if they want something, they really won't show you, Mom, I want that toy.
Well, I don't think they have invented the word for that.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, that part, it's yeah. I mean, like I said, we are more subtle. We in general we are shy. So
you're more reserved.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a better word. More reserved. That's a writer. Yeah, we have a writer here. Of course, she will give me a better word. Like this number 4 for Chinese. We are quite similar too. Yeah. But of course, I'm still
You're not gonna show your feelings.
Yes, yeah, number
really?
4. Not, yeah, we are, well, especially, I'm from Hong Kong, we are under the British, like, governing for so long. We are also that kind of, like, subtle, we don't show that much.
Yes.
But of course, once we moved to Canada, we changed a lot.
Right.
But still, yeah. That is still under, like, that is still within us. Yeah.
Yes.
That is still within us. Or I sure appreciate that you actually categorize that, like, these 4 main values. Yeah.
Right.
I appreciate that. Thank
Right.
you so much.
You're most welcome.
Yeah, I think in terms of these, we are quite similar in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the first one. That I will be in depth. Yeah.
Right.
For basically forever.
Right.
If someone helped me once, especially for one big thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, as Chinese, we try not to ask someone for money, even relatives, like friends. Of course, yeah, we try not to do that. If we ask someone for money, that will be forever. That will be in my list forever. This person, no matter whatever request that he has in the future,
You
Yeah.
can't say no to that person.
Yeah,
Yes.
but then also this is a kind of shame that especially for the older generation, they try not to ask for money. This is actually one of the shame that we have actually. Yeah. 我同 Ruby 講好相似嘅，尤其是你話我哋中國人好怕就係欠人哋恩情啊，尤其是如果問人借錢添啦。如果借錢咧，真係中國人我都同佢解釋比較少嘅。我哋如果真係要去到借錢，我哋覺得係好難堪嘅一件事嚟嘅，所以盡量都唔會做呢一件事嘅。If someone asks me, I would understand. Oh, it must be you must be in a critical situation. That's why. Okay, then I will help you.
It's your honor more than the wealth.
Yeah,
I
but
think.
what
Take care
about
of their-
what about in your culture?
It's the same thing.
Oh, yeah?
It's we take care of our honor more than the wealth.
Mm-hmm.
We're very, in a way, we're very proud because our word is very important. When we say yes, we really mean yes, right? Which is actually a dichotomy of, you don't want to say yes, but out of utang na loob or out of pakikisama or whatever, you're forced to say yes, kind of thing. It's a
Forced to say
dichotomy,
yes.
and I call that the cultural dualism, because the Filipinos are being, how would I say it? It's between the two cultures, the traditional cultures and the modern culture, which is, as we had said, in Canada. We're in Canada now. And this is very prevalent, and this is very apparent in our kids. Because our kids are not the same kids as the ones in the Philippines. I tell you, they are very strong-minded. They don't listen to you.
Strong-minded for
Strong-minded,
sure. It's
yes.
yeah, that's what you will be influenced
Yes.
if you study in Canada.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I respect that a lot though. Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah, because the education back then, like in Hong Kong, when I studied in Hong Kong, this is not something that they will facilitate you. You have to have your own ideas.
Yes.
You are yourself. Like this kind of
Individualism.
thing.
Yeah. That's
So,
what it is.
阿 Ruby 就話咧喺呢度長大嘅小朋友咧都好唔同嘅，佢哋非常之有自己嘅主見，非常之強烈添嘅。咁佢就講笑咁啊，好中意駁嘴啦。咁但係其實我都同佢講，呢個真嘅。喺加拿大讀書嘅話咧，呢度個教育係會好促進你去有自己個人嘅思想、個人嘅 ideas 嘅。咁呢樣我自己本身係非常之尊重嘅。Basically, I'm proud to be a Canadian.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
You've been here a long time as well?
Not yet 20 years, but
Ah.
close to.
You studied English here?
Yes.
Good.
Yes,
Good. You
yes.
speak very good English.
You too.
And it's a good thing that you learn Cantonese or you kept that culture, because my kids don't speak Filipino at all.
At all? But
At
were
all.
they born here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is hard. Yeah.
I have two daughters and they are adults now. Usually at home we don't speak English at home, but we are talking in dialect,
Oh, good.
the Hiligaynon or Ilonggo dialects. So sometimes if they talk to me in English, I will not answer it in English, and then I keep on telling them or reminding them that your grandmother is in Scarborough. If you forgot to talk about our dialect, call the number, talk to your grandmother. But sometimes they're learning to speak in Tagalog, so I said, it's up to you when you go back home to the Philippines. You don't have to say in English all the time.
Yes, that's actually very important. 同大家翻譯一下，因為講到文化呢樣嘢啊，佢都話喺菲律賓大咧，同埋喺呢度大嘅細路仔好唔同嘅。佢啲仔女咧喺菲律賓喺加拿大出生，咁所以到而家都唔識講呢個菲律賓話嘅。咁但係邦咧佢就話佢有兩個女，兩個女都成年㗎啦，但係佢喺屋企咧就堅持咧唔會同佢哋講英文嘅，一定要講翻菲律賓話。咁佢就話，若果佢哋同佢突然間講英文咧，幫佢會唔應佢嘅。佢就同佢講話嗱，如果你個嫲嫲就住喺呢一個 Scarborough 嘅。若果咧你哋係真係唔記得咗點樣講個菲律賓話，你 call 佢啦，即係咁樣先可以 keep 到嗰個文化 ，keep 到嗰個聯繫啦。It's actually quite common for us. We try not to speak English in family gathering. Well, basically, my parents don't even need to force us, but some especially the newer generation. Like my friends, they have kids. their kids started to talk, then they have to restrict them. At home, Chinese only, Cantonese only.
Excellent.
Yeah, at school, the thing is, eventually you will learn English. Yeah, you will hear. Yeah, but when we, like us, when we just, well, probably not us, but then I came here in 1996. A lot of my friends came here maybe 1990 or even before. At that time, the parents worry that they cannot learn English. That's why, watch TV in English, speak in English, blah blah blah. Eventually, they forget how to speak Cantonese. Your kids will eventually learn English.
Exactly.
It's just a matter of time,
'Cause they're
probably.
here, yeah.
You may take a little bit longer.
Yes.
Yeah. 我哋都係講到咧，喺屋企度講自己嘅語言咧，大部分我哋都係支持嘅，因為英文你喺加拿大居住遲早都會學識，但係自己嘅語言咧，如果真係唔係由細到大開始講咧，可能會好容易唔記得。
Thank you very much, Ruby. But we have to remember that Ruby is a writer in one of the Filipino newspapers with the lifestyle column. Lifestyle. That's why Ruby loves to talk about lifestyle.
阿邦就話俾大家知道，其實 Ruby 咧佢都係一位作家嚟嘅，除咗係一位地產從業員，佢係幫一份菲律賓嘅報紙咧寫一個 lifestyle 嘅一位作家嚟嘅。It's a wonderful session. Thank you so much, Ruby, for coming.
Oh, you're most welcome. Anytime.
而家休息一陣先，廣告翻嚟仲有第二個環節送俾大家嘅。歡迎翻嚟華語電台 CCR 文化潮流菲律賓，我 Janet 咧每一個禮拜都會帶俾大家咧好多唔同嘅驚喜嘅。每一次嘅嘉賓咧，其實講真啦，唔單止帶俾你驚喜，帶俾我自己都有驚喜嘅。例如今日我呢兩位嘅嘉賓咧，佢係我要稱呼佢哋都係要用特別啲嘅稱呼嘅。點解呢？因為佢哋嚟自一個嘅 association 呢，就叫做Knights of Rizal。呢一個關於即係去到宣揚同埋歌頌黎剎嘅一個嘅活動呢，呢兩位嘅人士呢，呢兩位嘅前輩呢，係我望住佢哋呢，我都不其然咁非常之嚴肅同埋非常之正經嘅。咁事不宜遲啦，我哋不如呢，由佢哋介紹一下自己先啦。Good evening, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Canadian Chinese Radio. Tonight, we have two VIP here. They are from the Knights of Rizal. It is definitely my honor to have them here and let me ask them questions. First of all, I believe the best is to have a brief introduction of them. We have two guests here. We have like Sir Jamie and also Sir June in the studio. First of all, I would like to have Sir Jamie to introduce himself to the audience.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jamie Marasigan. I'm the national commander of the organization called the Knights of Rizal. We are based in Toronto, and we also have 3 areas within Canada. We have the areas in Quebec, in Manitoba, and of course here in Toronto.
同大家發現一下先啦。首先Sir Jamie 咧，佢係一位中氣非常之好嘅一位前輩。咁佢就好簡潔咁介紹咗自己啦。佢係 Knights of Rizal 咧嘅一個幹事啦。或者同大家講講 Knights of Rizal 咧，其實係一個組織。一個組織咧，佢哋係主要係要去宣揚同埋紀念佢哋菲律賓國父 Dr. Jose Rizal， 即係我哋中文譯做黎剎啦。佢哋稱佢為菲律賓國父。咁佢就話呢一個活動咧，其實喺加拿大咧好多地方都有嘅，喬北啦、Manitoba 啦、多倫多啦，當然唔少得。And then we have Sir June. Can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes, good evening, Janet. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sir June Calagio, the officers of the Order of the Knight of Rizal, Regional Auditor, as well as the chairman on government affairs and co-chair for this 5th Regional Assembly that would be held here in Canada, to be held here in Sheraton Hotel this coming October 9, 10, and 11. And we would be hosting the Regional Assembly, 5th Regional Assembly, as well as the 16th Commander's Ball. And we are happy to welcome everyone for that particular occasion for the Order of the Knight of Rizal.
Sir Jun 咧，佢就係呢一個 Knights of Rizal 嘅 officer 嚟嘅。咁佢除咗 officer 咧，仲係一個 editor 啦，同埋呢一個嘅 chairman 嘅身份。咁佢都話啦，嚟緊呢將會咧喺10月咧就有一個 Regional Assembly and Conference 係一個嘅會議啦。佢係嗰度 co-chair 嘅。咁同埋話咧喺呢個Sheraton Hotel 咧就會舉辦呢一個嘅活動。咁佢話佢歡迎咧各界嘅人士咧去參加。Thank you so much again for coming today. About the Knights of Rizal, I am actually a student today. I know I'm going to learn a lot from you. Whenever I call out Sir Jamie, Sir Jun, I really think that I should behave. Can you actually introduce the Knights of Rizal to our audience first? Because this is a topic that we have never introduced before.
All right. Just a brief introduction about the Knights of Rizal. It is an organization. It's a civic and patriotic, non-sectarian and non-partisan organization which is started under the Philippine Republic Act number 646. Very briefly, it was formally organized in 1909 and was incorporated in 1916 under the, as I said, the Republic Act number 646, converted the organization into a public corporation on June 4, 1951, and is now known as the Knights of Rizal. Our organization, it's increased its membership to well over 10,000 now in about 100 chapters all over the world, a few of which are established, of course, abroad. It has all affiliate membership, as I said, no less than 10,000 as well, from universities, colleges, and high schools from all parts of the Philippines.
Knights of Rizal 呢一個嘅 association 咧，喺好耐以前咧已經有㗎啦。咁大家都知道 Dr. Jose Rizal 即係黎薩啦，係佢哋菲律賓嘅民族英雄啊。咁佢呢一個嘅活動咧，就當然係一個好愛國、好民族性嘅一個 organisation。咁其實咧喺1951年咧就已經咧有呢一個嘅 organisation 嘅創立㗎啦。阿 Sir Jamie 都講過啦，即係其實佢哋呢一個嘅活動係呢個 association 非常之大型。咁佢而家咧嘅會員啊已經係咧超過咗1萬個會員㗎啦。而家講緊咧亦都係有好多唔同嘅人士咧都係會員啊，包括咧大學生啊，甚至係呢個嘅 high school 嘅學生啊。都係佢哋嘅會員之一。咁當然啦，呢個活動最主要就係去到宣揚同埋去到紀念黎薩就係 Dr. Jose Rizal， 去到紀念呢一個嘅民族英雄。咁佢喺呢個菲律賓呢，其實喺全世界度咧都知道佢係一個菲律賓嘅民族英雄。咁所以咧就有呢一個嘅association 咧，去到紀念同埋去到宣揚即係黎薩嘅種種。At this point, I think we probably also should cover a little about like a brief introduction about Dr. Rizal, because honestly, some of the audience, they would know about him, but then maybe you want to talk a little bit about him. Sir Jun, you may want to do that.
Yeah, I have the honor to explain that who is Dr. Jose Rizal. Actually, Dr. Jose Rizal was born under the name of Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Rialonda. He was born on June 19, 1861, and he died on December 30, 1896. So that means he is just a very young and considered Filipino national hero. He's a reformist, and he is considered one of the national heroes of the Philippines. We call Dr. Jose Rizal, who was born as a wealthy family in Calamba, Laguna. That is part of the southern part of Luzon, and was the 7th of 11 children. He attended his studies in Ateneo de Manila, earning the Bachelor of Arts diploma, and he studied medicine in University of Santo Tomas. University of Santo Tomas is the only recognized university of the Philippines who excelled in medicine at that time. He continued his studies at the Universidad Central de Madrid in Madrid, Spain, earning the degree of licentiate in medicine, making him eligible to practice medicine all over the world. He also attended at the University of Paris and earned the second doctorate at the University of Heidelberg. Dr. Jose Rizal is a polymath, meaning he studied several. He has the skills and ability of several persons. Like he is an artist. We call him a man of all alphabets from A to Z. He excelled in arts. He could do sculpture, wood carving, carpenter, engineer, and so on and so forth. He's also a zoologist, so that's from A to Z. And he also we call a person of all languages, because he could speak fluently not only in Filipino or Spanish or German, but he could speak not only Chinese, Japanese, and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
And
he
several
actually,
dialects,
I learned that he actually mastered 22 languages.
Yes, that's right. So
It's like a genius.
and he's really and at a very young age he was able to write and found the La Liga Filipina. And La Liga Filipina, this is about Philippines, and entice people to be observant and become a reformist. And his great novel, the Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, these are the books that expel and exposes the atrocities of the Spaniards. That's why this was the root of his martyrdom.
So that his first novel is actually to expose the Spanish government.
Yeah, the Spanish atrocities during those times.
And one thing that when I was doing the research, my homework
Yeah.
for this segment, one thing that I do feel touched, because I learned that he actually learned alphabet from his mother. He is definitely a talented and a genius. He wanted to be an artist, but then because his mom has some problem with her eye, and that's why he switched to study medicine.
Yeah, ophthalmologist.
I
Yeah,
think
and
this is this actually touched me a lot. Let me translate to the audience. You know what? The thing is, we enjoy talking so much. We cannot leave my audience in loss. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
咁我同大家翻譯一下。Sir Jun 咧，佢就咁講Dr. Rizal 嘅生平啦。咁其實黎薩咧係一個非常之出色、非常之叻。點解咧？其實佢當然啦，佢係一個民族英雄。佢以前咧其實係出生喺一個好富裕嘅家庭。咁佢係一個大家庭嘅11個兄弟姊妹，咁佢排行第7嘅。咁佢個家庭係富裕嘅。咁佢細個嘅時候咧，其實都已經發現佢有一個好語言嘅天分啦。因為佢細個咧，其實就佢媽咪已經教佢呢一個嘅英文字母噶啦。咁佢細個就已經咧知道佢即係已經發掘到佢係一個好有天分嘅一個小孩子。咁佢其實好想做一位嘅artist， 一位嘅藝術家。但係咧當佢知道佢媽咪呢隻眼咧患有眼疾嘅時候咧，佢咧就決定轉讀呢一個嘅醫學啦。咁其實佢喺呢一個即係喺菲律賓嘅一個大學啦，佢喺嗰度畢業啦。咁然之後咧，其實佢仲佢唔同嘅學府咧，其實佢都有咧繼續咧讀呢一個嘅醫學嘅。到佢真係可以畢業咧，就可以成為呢一個嘅醫生。咁我覺得，我就頭先同佢哋講，我覺得一個細路仔其實佢係因為佢媽咪嘅眼疾而想去做一個醫生。我覺得呢件事已經係一個非常之有孝心同埋即係好感動好感動人嘅一件事嘅。咁佢其實曾經亦都去過呢一個嘅西班牙啦，亦都係就讀呢個醫學啦。咁佢就其實都去咗唔同嘅地方去travel 過唔同嘅地方添嘅。咁Sir Jun 咧，佢就講過阿黎薩咧，其實佢係好多嘢都識嘅。嗱，佢係一個藝術家啦，佢識雕塑啦，呢一個嘅醫生啦，所以非常之 多才多藝嘅一個人。咁佢亦都語言非常之有天分嘅，佢識得22種語言，即係除咗佢譬如你話菲律賓話啦，當然認識啦。Chinese 中文啊、英文啊、Spanish 啊、法文啊、希臘文啊，佢都係識得嘅，個非常之有語言天分。佢有一本作品嘅一個嘅小説，呢個小説咧就係揭露咗咧當其時咧西班牙政府咧統治呢個菲律賓嘅時候咧嘅一啲嘅弊端啊。咁咧亦當然亦都係因為咧呢一個嘅小説咧就令到呢一個菲律賓西班牙嘅政府咧對佢咧就作出咧唔同嘅刑罰啦。咁亦都係呢一個小説咧令到佢開始咗咧佢呢一個嘅革命嘅源頭啦。Thank you for the history. What about your organization? What is the mission of the Knights of Rizal?
What do we normally do and our objectives? The general objectives of our organization is to study the teachings of Dr. Jose Rizal. As you know, Dr. Jose Rizal is the national hero of the Philippines. Under our objectives, we also want to include and propagate them in among all classes of people all over the world. Also to exhort the citizenry by words and deeds to emulate and practice the example and teachings of Dr. Jose Rizal as an international hero, to promote among the associated member knights the spirit of patriotism and Rizalian chivalry, and to develop a perfect union among all people in revering the memory of Dr. Jose Rizal.
問到咧佢哋呢一個嘅 association 嘅主旨嘅宗旨係乜嘢咧？咁Sir Jamie 咧佢就解釋啦，其實佢哋主要嘅目的咧就係去到study 咧黎薩咧嘅一啲教學啊，同埋嘅一啲嘅文學嘅。咁主要就係去到學習佢，然之後當然就係要宣揚佢啦，就教佢哋嘅 member 佢哋即係關於黎薩嘅種種啦，其實種種嘅事蹟啦，同埋種種嘅文學上面嘅一啲嘢啦。另外咧，佢就話佢會將呢啲即係黎薩佢哋唔同嘅一啲嘅example 啦，去到咧同佢哋啲會員去分享，同佢啲 member 去分享。咁當然啦，佢更加要做嘅就係去到promote 咧呢一個嘅民族性同埋一個愛國嘅一個精神啊。咁就希望咧每一個嘅member 咧都可以感受到同埋學習到呢一個嘅精神。呢個就係佢哋咧呢個組織嘅宗旨啦。How can one be a member of the Knights of Rizal?
Okay, Janet. For those who are really interested to join the Knights of Rizal, the requirement is very simple. Number one, who are welcome to join the Order of the Knight of Rizal. It says in here, any members includes the people who are civic, patriotic, non-sectarian, and non-partisan organization. And a gentleman of good moral character, recommended by active members of the Order of the Knight of Rizal, may join the organization. And how to become a member? A candidate should apply and shall be interviewed by the Order of the Knight of Rizal Council or Chapter Commander. Accepted candidates are knighted in ceremonies by the Order Degree Team. A certificate of membership shall be issued to him. A member are expected to study the teachings of Dr. Jose Rizal, emulate his good works, and eligible by the Constitution and bylaws of the Order. Each member is assessed with a nominal fee, must wear a Rizal uniform, which has its own uniform, like a barong, which is a native uniform, and it could only purchase in the Philippines. And
you can only purchase in the Philippines?
Yeah, you have to order from the organization, and there were jewels being used per rank. The jewels of this current rank when attending official gathering. So that's how serious the organization is.
And you mentioned that all, like, if if one want to apply to be a member, they has to be interviewed.
Yes.
So by you,
First, we have a degree team. This group of people who would be interviewing the member to determine their desire to join. As soon as they pass the degree team, they will be oriented to know it is mandatory for them to learn about Dr. Jose Rizal, his vision and his mission, and his ideals in order for them to join and understand the organization before he will be knighted, or we normally call it inducted into the organization. And once they are inducted, they will be joining the rank of the first degree, because it has the organization has 5 level of degrees, and the first level is we call it the Knight of Rizal.
oh,
Members,
that's something that I want to know more. So you said there is. First of all, if you want to be a member, well, as you said, the requirement is simple. Make sure that you have a strong desire and you actually understand like Dr. Rizal's work, and like
Ideals.
to study, basically mainly to study what Dr. Rizal did before, and then what he is good at, which is a lot of things,
Yes,
especially the languages. And you said that after the interview and after everything that he passed, that he can be a member, and then there will be a 5 levels
5
of
levels
degree.
of degrees, yeah.
Okay, and I would want to know about that 5 level of degrees, but let me translate that to the audience first.
Yeah, okay.
咁我問到 Sir Jun 咧，佢就解釋咧，咁究竟一個人如果想去成為佢哋 Knights of Rizal 嘅會員咧，其實有啲乜嘢嘅條件咧？佢話其實好簡單，當然你一定要非常之熱愛同埋好清楚知道Dr. Rizal 係做啲乜嘢嘅。當然你話佢係一個愛國者，佢係一個民族英雄，佢寫過好多唔同嘅，譬如詩詞歌賦啊，或者佢有好多唔同嘅著作。咁你要好清楚呢樣嘢啦。咁因為咧，原來咧佢哋會有一個 interview 嘅。咁呢個 interview 咧就係訪問你呢一個member， 即係一個嘅 candidate 啦，去到訪問咗，如果 OK 啦 pass 咗啦，咁咧你就可以成為佢哋個會員。咁佢哋原來有制服嘅喎，會員嗰個制服咧就特登喺菲律賓度先至買到添嘅喎。咁啊好尊重呢一個嘅一個組織嘅。咁其實咧Sir Jamie 同埋 Sir Jun 咧仲講多好多關於呢一個嘅菲律賓國父嘅呢個組織嘅，咁但係因為時間關係，我哋而家呢就要同大家先講拜拜啦。咁下個星期呢，我哋再有呢下半 part 送俾大家嘅。好啦，下個星期同一時間文化潮流菲律賓再同大家見面。拜拜。We still have a lot to share about the Knights of Rizal, but because we have to say goodbye now. It's time to say goodbye, but then next week, same time, from 10 to 12, we will be here. With Sir Jamie and Sir Jun. Okay, see you next week. 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 Okay, see you next week.